because there have been certain things that have come out, you know, in this trial so far, and we'll see how the rest of the.
What has come out? Truly, I don't know what you could think has come out unless you watch Destiny's streams where he says that Pxie and her lawyers are lying all the time and doing shady stuff. Destiny's defense is not that, no, I didn't share this stuff non-consensually. His defense is the law wasn't in effect at the time. Nothing in there makes any sense why he would be considering private in this, and nothing here that he said impacts his decision of what Destiny did to Pxie and other women has changed. There's absolutely no reason for him to be changing mind, or, oh, well, stuff's come out and stuff's changed. No reason at all for him to be changing his mind, other than all I really can think of is he wants to go back into orbit. I truly do not understand how anybody can watch this guy. Just boring, not funny, not particularly educated, nothing really interesting about him, and just totally spineless. I mean, he had almost nothing to add to that entire WillyMac video. Took over halfway through it for him to get to like 4 comments about the whole video. Mostly him just vaping there. And now he's running from this guy, from Kuihman. Hutch is a pretty standard, middle-of-the-road politics streamer guy. And of all the people you could watch for politics, I really don't understand why anybody goes to Hutch. He's got pretty standard takes. He's not particularly educated. He's not particularly funny. He doesn't get exclusive interviews or anything like that. Even if you were a fan of him back in the CNNers Sark Machinima days, I don't see how that would be enough for you to want to watch Hutch of all the people that you could watch. But regardless, he has a decently sized audience. And at the time, it was revealed that Destiny was a habitual consent violator. Hutch had the obvious take. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to distance myself from this guy. Seems pretty scummy. But lately, Hutch has been having some second thoughts about that. Seems like maybe he wants back in the orbit, back on the plantation.
I've been thinking about the Destiny situation a little bit more, guys. I've been thinking about that situation a little bit more. I don't regret distancing myself from something that was very radioactive. Like, every creator has to consider their own reputation and their own, like, brand. That's not a moral calculation.
Yes, you have to consider your reputation and your brand, not your morals, but your brand and your reputation. That's very important.
It's just, that's like a necessary calculation that every creator has to make. What I do think I regret was, like, talking about it in detail. I think looking back, I wish I would have just put that space and just not talked about it. But it is what it is.
Okay, so he's having some regrets. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about that stuff, but that's not all that he had to say about this.
What the hell could you possibly have meant with the Destiny comment? I shouldn't have went into detail. What? Why is that a regret? The Destiny thing, man, like, I just wish, like, look, there was a lot of stuff that came out with the Destiny thing that was, like, very damning on its face. I will say I can't tell you every single particular detail of the case, but I've kept up about certain, like, things that have come out during that case. I still have disagreements with kind of, like, turning all of that into content. Feels a bit, I don't love that. But in retrospect, like, I think.
So I'm not sure. He's saying he's not sure how he feels about himself making content out of it, or like the fact that Destiny's making content out of it and going over it on his streams and putting videos out about it. I mean, I don't care. I don't care. Make content out of whatever. It's about how you cover stuff, not just the fact that you covered something.
Like, putting distance between myself and Destiny and other creators doing the same, I don't regret that at all. I was distancing myself from something that was really radioactive, and he was not, like, entitled to, you know, everyone that he ever collaborated with, like, a couple times to, you know, reach out and like, be a friend in that way. We never had that relationship ever. You know, if that was someone I knew, like someone that was really close to me, I would support my friend in that. Like I would like, even if they made a mistake and even if they did things that I thought was bad or whatever, you know.
So if he was in Dan's position, he would do what Dan did and said, yeah, I know what Destiny did was wrong, but he's my friend. I'm going to stand by him. I mean, at the very least, that's better. I have more respect for what Dan does than what Hutch is doing here, because Dan is willing to admit, yeah, Destiny is a scumbag. When Melina talked to me about getting divorced from Destiny, I said, well, maybe you should do that. If you feel like this is bad, you should get out of it. But Destiny's my friend, so I'm going to stand by him. I still disagree with it, but it's way more respectable than at the time you're going to distance your brand because it's a radioactive situation. And then months later, you're going to come crawling back. What has changed, Hutch? What would have changed that would impact your opinion on what Destiny did? Make you regret distancing yourself in any way? Or how you covered it?
Like I would still support, but we never. So like, I don't regret like putting distance between myself and all that in the moment. But I think like in retrospect, I think I regret like speaking on the particulars of the case, because there have been certain things that have come out, you know, in this trial so far, and we'll see how the rest of the case plays out. But like, that's
he says stuff's come out. What
particulars of the case, because there have been certain things that have come out, you know, in this trial so far, and we'll see how the rest of the
what has come out? Truly, I don't know what you could think has come out unless you watch Destiny streams where he says that Pxie and her lawyers are lying all the time and doing shady stuff. Destiny's defense is not that, no, I didn't share this stuff non-consensually. His defense is the law wasn't in effect at the time. Right? He admitted in DMs that he violated Pixie's trust in the most terrible way possible. What more do you need? What's changed that would make you think, oh, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have spoken on that. Maybe I wish I could take that back. What?
case plays out. But like, that's what I mean when I say that. So yeah. Like the WillyMac video too. Like I certainly regret like reacting to that. Like I don't think I milked this thing at all. You know, like there were a few times on stream that people asked me for my opinion about things, and you know, we made like a collective like, or we made like individual statements like on the podcast, and I feel like that was the correct thing to do at the time, just to like just say like we're gonna distance ourselves. But yeah, reacting to the WillyMac video, like I'll probably private that video actually.
So he's saying he's going to private the WillyMac video. So far, it doesn't look like he has. I have that, and we'll get into that. So I see, well, what did he say at the time? What could he have said that he regrets saying and thinks, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that? Yeah, made sense to distance myself, but I don't think I should have commented on what kind of person Destiny was or his actions or anything like that. I mean, if you don't want to say anything, I guess I get that. Seems a little bit weird if you're even somewhat adjacent to Destiny that you would have no comments on it. But I don't understand how you would have any regrets unless you said something that's been proven wrong now. What possibly could have been proven wrong that he said?
But yeah, you know, it is what it is. And there's still things that I would be critical of, but I just feel like maybe it's better to just let that process play out, and we'll get more sort of information.
Quite a few people in his chat that are not happy with this. I'm dipping. I'm going to crash out.
Be able to come to like more flesh.
Oh, sorry. If your friend was a sex pest, you would defend them? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of weird. I don't know why you would why you would openly just state, yeah, I think I'd probably do what Dan did if I was friends with Destiny. What? So you went from distancing yourself and condemning him to, yeah, if I was a closer friend of his, though, I would have stood by that. Really? Like, I get standing by your friend when certain controversies happen in the public eye. Not this kind of thing, right? This is just proof that your friend is a complete POS. They're a scumbag. They don't see other people as full humans.
It's better to just let that process play out, and we'll get more sort of information, be able to come to like more fleshed out opinions or conclusions about the thing. But certainly there have been some things in the case that have come to light that made me go like, huh, you know. But I also still like, you know, I also still feel like very bad for Pxie, right? Like that's still a horrific thing to have to go through. And so I still.
So if you feel bad for Pxie, why would you regret commenting on what Destiny did being bad? If what he did wasn't bad, why would you feel bad for Pxie?
Still maintain a very healthy degree of sympathy for what that experience must have been like for her, and I feel bad that she had to go through that, or anybody else who got their shit leaked, right?
Here you can see there are some hardcore Destiny defenders here that are just parroting what Destiny said. At this point, I think the case was literally a right-wing op. I mean, Lauren De Laguna is factually behind the Give, Send, Go. Oh, wow. She helped Pxie set up the fundraiser for her court case? Well, then it must be a giant conspiracy, just like Destiny says. Great point. But most people, wait. Like what? Anything in particular make you flip? Things have changed? Like what? Most people think this is weird.
But at the end of the day, and this is something that I will maintain, at the end of the day, like Destiny, sometimes he makes it very he makes it very difficult to like he's just a guy that obviously loves to like push the envelope as far as it can go, and anybody who
Yes, pushing the envelope, like violating people's consent. That's really pushing the end. That's an edgy joke when you violate somebody's consent. Spicy joke there.
does that, it can be kind of tricky to be aligned with that with someone like that, because then people go to you and they're like, well, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And I don't control anybody else's behavior, and just because I associate myself with someone, that doesn't mean that I fucking love everything that they do. That's not even, that to me is not controversial. It's just there are these pressure campaigns that pop up, and people try to like tar and feather you because of something that somebody else did, and that's all very kind of like tiring sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, that must be tiring. That when you habitually violate people's consents, people try to tar and feather you. That sounds rough. I mean, how messed up that you would have to deal with people talking bad about you and trying to make your reputation bad after you violate people's consent habitually. That must be really rough to deal with. The internet's so unfair.
Yeah. So anyways, that's, I see some people going into particulars in my chat, right? Like the whole point was like, I think it's better to just like wait. Like there's nothing wrong with just waiting. Just like wait for as much information as can come out in this way to have like a really fully informed opinion on the matter. Yeah. Anyways.
And he doesn't know what the hell.
What the hell could you possibly?
I mean, yeah, if you want to wait, that's fine. Like I said earlier, I don't know what else you need. In DMs, Destiny said, I violated Pxie's trust in the worst way possible. Right? What more do you need? He admitted that he did it, and his defense in court is the law was not in effect at the time. Not, I didn't do what I'm being accused of. The law wasn't there at the time. Then here's a little bit more of him talking about this sort of thing. Oh no, this is back when he initially covered it here. And a chatter says to Hutch, "Wow, really? You're gonna be all performative about Destiny bad right now? I'm unsubscribing. This is not that serious."
Is all right. Listening to this reaction, I'm going to unsubscribe. The situation being treated like it's that big of a deal is simply ridiculous. It's unfortunate that it happened. It's not that serious. I just want to frame something to you. Okay. I'm going to assume that you're a human being that's capable of empathy. I'm going to assume that you're a human being that is capable of imagining what something would feel like and just proceed from there. And I want you to imagine you wake up one day and there are nude images of you on the internet, and you know you're never going to be able to take them down. And you had aspired to serve.
In Pxie's case, video. Not images, video. I mean, I guess you could say that's a series of images. But video.
in a somewhat public role within the framework of like political engagement as a career. And on top of being humiliated by having your images out there on the internet for anyone to see, now you have to consider dozens of other ways that this could potentially impact your life. You have to live with the stress that some crazy internet person, and there's no shortage of crazy people on the internet, you have to live with the concern that some crazy person on the internet is going to send your nude photos to your friends, to your family, to your parents, to your siblings, to your employers, to your future employers. And so as a result of a decision that somebody else made without your consent, that you were not a party to, you have to now adjust to that moment psychologically and have the fortitude to go through an experience like that and still live a functioning life, which when I ask myself, I don't know if I could do it. If I was humiliated like that, I don't know if you guys would ever see me again, ever, on the internet. And then I don't know what I would do.
So what Destiny did to Pxie is so bad that if somebody did it to him, he might never be on the internet ever again, even though that's how he makes his money. But now he regrets getting into this. Maybe I shouldn't have said that sort of stuff. Maybe if I was Destiny's friend, I would have stood by him.
I don't know what I would do for I would just have to disappear. I would just have to my whole life would have to change. So I think to minimize this situation and say it's not that big of a deal, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that I don't think you've really thought this through. I don't think you've really fully considered how much that would impact someone's internal life.
And he goes on to basically say, if you think it's not that big of a deal, I'm just going to assume you haven't really thought about it in any meaningful sense. So the only way you could think it's not that bad is if you just didn't think about it. If you're capable of empathy and you've thought about the situation, you should understand that what Destiny did to Pxie is terrible. That's all it really takes, is having empathy and thinking about the situation.
Their emotional state, their mental state, which is bad enough, but I don't think you probably evaluate how much it would impact someone's external life for the rest of their life. Something like this, people kill themselves for stuff like this. Now Destiny didn't do it maliciously.
So, really, how has anything changed? What has changed, Hutch? Because that's what he said in the previous clip, that stuff's kind of changed, new stuff's come out. Really. But it would make sense for somebody in Pxie's situation to end their lives. Okay. What has changed then? What makes it not that bad where you wish? Maybe I shouldn't have just said anything. 'Cause, it's real murky and seems like we can't be sure what Destiny did is all that bad. 100%. We need to see more of the details. Really. But before you're saying what happened to Pxie, I would understand if somebody ended their life.
Maliciously, right? But that doesn't matter because of his reckless, wildly
I think I'd get this
for
part
stuff
back.
like this. Now Destiny didn't do it maliciously, right? But that doesn't matter because of his reckless, wild.
And it doesn't even matter that he didn't do it maliciously. Which, sure, he was reckless with it anyway. Who cares if it was actually malicious, which I think you could argue that it was, because Destiny understands sharing this stuff as much as he did, it's going to get out, right? There's no way he didn't recognize that sharing these images and videos as much as he did and audio, that eventually it would come out. So I really think you could argue that it was malicious, but at the very least, it was reckless. And that's what I was saying earlier, where he does not see other people as full humans. It's not worth considering how his actions would impact other people. It doesn't really occur to him.
Wildly irresponsible, wildly impulsive, self-serving behavior. As a consequence of that, somebody else's, and now potentially multiple people's lives are now possibly forever changed. And so I'm just saying, to me, that is a big deal. So I would encourage you, if you're still in chat, I don't know if you pieced out already, just think about it. Just think about it. Just imagine, how would your life change if you were in the exact same spot? Just imagine that. I think if you think about it long enough, I think you'll start to understand that this is a big deal. And that what Destiny did was a profound violation of somebody else's privacy. And it had serious consequences.
The only thing is that if there's
Big deal and a profound violation. Well, if it's a big deal, why would you not have talked about it, right? And it's a profound violation. Well, you'd kind of be covering for Destiny if you didn't talk about it at the time. That's what people's criticism sort of was for WillyMac's first video about Destiny, whereas it didn't really show that Destiny has a pattern of acting like this, of disregarding people's consent. So then it makes it seem like, oh, it's just this one-time thing that Destiny did. And it seems a lot, not nearly as bad as a pattern of doing this. That this is who Destiny is. He's the type of guy that does this. He's not a guy who messed up and did this one time. But here's the video that Hutch said that he is probably going to private. He hasn't privated it so far. Let's see. What did he say here that is worthy of being privated?
I mean, listen, I've been fucking shacked up with the same woman for 10 years now. My life is very boring, and I love that my life is very boring. If my shit hacks now, the biggest risk to me would be just what a fucking nerd I am. People looking at my YouTube history and watching me watch like MCU film rumor videos 5 times a day. Recall that we were having a conversation about Destiny earlier, and I was telling you guys that I think he would be a lot more effective if he didn't create so much controversy that I think serves as a distraction. And I just want you to keep that in your minds as we review this video.
Destiny video, a lot has changed. We have a court document from Pxie's legal team alleging that he was deleting evidence, specifically messages with multiple women who have claimed that he shared sex videos with them without the participants' consent. So he wasn't just sharing videos with Rose, he was sending it to other women who then told Pxie. I had a conversation with Anna, who claims Destiny sent her videos of girls that she'd never seen before.
So I've been sent videos. I have no way of knowing if they were consensually, like, recorded or sent.
In my last video, I made clear that if Destiny wanted to be taken seriously again, he'd have to own up to what he did. He's always preaching about accountability, but now when it's his time to finally own up, he doesn't. Instead, he tells me he's going to drop the manifesto to end all manifestos. I was not very confident as the evidence against him was already damning. He literally admitted fault. Aaron tells Destiny, you distributed it non-consensually, and Destiny replies, yeah, I know. I have damaged her severely. He tells Pxie, I'm so sorry, there's literally zero excuse. But he tries to recontextualize this in our interview.
When I sent that message to Pxie, I was like, I feel horrible. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've psychologically damaged you. Like, this is horrible, whatever. I do feel horrible. It has nothing to do with whether or not I consented to send the video. I just feel horrible that something that I was involved in ended up leaking publicly. Like, even if she would have said, like, even if that wouldn't have been sent to any.
This is just complete cope. I don't understand how any of the Destiny fans buy this, because I've seen them in the comments. Some of them do believe this. I think in the DM he says something, I don't want to message Pxie and just say, hey, I know I violated your trust in the worst way possible. And somebody in one of my comments said, no, see, he said he didn't want to message that to her. That means he didn't do it. No, why would he be entertaining messaging her things that he didn't do? Obviously, him saying that is admitting that he did that. And that's why he doesn't want to message her that. But no, he just said, oh, I just was saying that because, you know, I was one step along the way that led to something bad happening to her. No, you violated her trust in the worst way possible. That's very specific and more significant than just saying, oh, I feel really bad about what happened.
Anybody, if somebody would have like hacked my Google Drive, I would have said the exact same thing.
So was his manifesto good? Well, it seems to have persuaded much of his own community, with many of the top comments praising him. However, when you get down to the meat of the argument he's making, it doesn't change anything. I confront him about doxing, pedo allegations, as well as converse with people from his past. This is the Destiny manifesto. Where there's DMs about you saying like, hey, I wish this person, has this person been doxed yet?
Yeah, for Anna, that's bullshit. For just like Kuihman, I'd kill him if I could. I'd trip their fucking house to do it. Bro, I swear to God, if I quit streaming, I'm gonna fucking go on an assassination mission, okay? People are gonna start disappearing one at a time, okay?
That's why this video
That's the first time Hutch pauses it and he doesn't even actually say anything.
was sponsored by Aura. And a topic where people's personal
Will, you know, of all creators, like Willy's segues into his ad reads are just fucking top tier, just amazing.
video.
So his first comment in this whole video, like at the very intro there, is, oh, good ad segue. And then he skips the ad anyway.
Destiny's manifesto spends a lot of time clarifying that he is the biggest victim of these leaks.
It's incredibly bizarre how many people are fixated on insisting that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting, while other people were undeniably harmed by
The point of this is not to respond to what Destiny's saying, but it's so obnoxious. People are insisting that I'm not the primary victim here. Well, I haven't really seen that. Most people are willing to admit that, yes, if it was because of hacks, then yeah, Destiny would be a victim. What I've seen is people say, the least sympathetic victim of all time, right? His reckless actions are what led to this. Why would anybody feel bad? Sure, if you want to say you're technically a victim, go right ahead. I don't care. You're just a completely unsympathetic victim.
the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting. While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic.
I mean, he's just right about that. Like, I don't know why that's controversial. Like that other people were victimized in the process doesn't change the fact that, you know, it's just patently true that Destiny was the primary target, right?
Humiliation.
Nobody is denying that you were also
That's what Hutch chips in with finally, other than talking about the ad. Well, no, that is right, Destiny. You are a victim also. Okay.
a victim.
So is this what he regrets? That he's like, well, no, yeah, Destiny was a victim. I got to recognize that. Well, that's not very distancing, right? Surely there's other stuff in here.
Nobody is denying that the hacker is a bad guy, but the only reason there is collateral damage is you. If you didn't non-consensually share these girls' images, there would be nothing for the hacker to leak. I feel like he knows this. He's just trying to mitigate accountability in front of his audience. And Dustin,
It is so corny the way he's changed his setup here. Just the performative masculinity of all these guns and stuff back here. It's so embarrassing. I don't know why you do this unless you're trying to think, oh yeah, look how masculine I am. Guns. I like guns. All right, you're not going to convince anybody that you're masculine, Destiny. All right.
he knows this. He's just trying to mitigate accountability in front of his audience. In Destiny's video, he does provide some background information on the hacker, who goes by the name Solo.
Solo messaged me sometime in the morning and said that he was unhappy with how the coverage of the leaks had been so far. He felt as though people weren't giving it enough attention, so he was going to leak more from my logs with Rose if I didn't allow him to come on my stream and speak with me. I don't exactly remember what the message to me was, as I just woken up, read it, and then responded briefly before going back to sleep. The next time I checked my messages with him, everything had been deleted.
Luckily, I have the
Could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like his stuff still sort of shows up on my feed sometimes. And I feel like he was saying something as recently as maybe 2 weeks ago that he and his lawyers expect that the entire case is going to be thrown out. Do we have any update on the... I guess he's probably going to get into the case.
messages. The messages are Solo demanding
Also, don't you just think that's what Destiny is going to say? Right? Right? That's basically his best defense here, even though whether Destiny wins or loses the court case, it doesn't change anything about him being a garbage person. Right? I don't need the law to confirm that Destiny's a bad person for me. It's obvious. I've seen enough. But Destiny is saying it's all going to get thrown out. Is there anything to that? I don't know why you would ask that unless you've seen anything outside of Destiny just saying it.
Destiny talk to him on stream, or else he's going to leak all the DMs and videos he shared with Rose. He also threatens to release Rose's real age, saying, "You were negligent in verifying her age even after you joked about her looking so young that you would need her ID to make sure she was really even 18. The only other time I heard this allegation of Rose being potentially underage is when I interviewed Kelly Jean.
So he tweeted like a bit over a week ago that the Rose girl was an OnlyFans girl. She's not. She never had an OnlyFans. She was never on any platform that could have verified her identity.
Why is she known as like a Fansly OnlyFans e-girl?
She sold nudes via Twitter. So it's not that we're trying to say Destiny's a pedophile. It's that we're saying Destiny is reckless.
I'm gonna be real, she does end up doing that. It's very much what she would imply. She'd list all this evidence for why Destiny should have been suspicious that she was underage.
Also, didn't bother to check someone's like age, right? It's like a...
Should she claim she was underage?
She said she was 19 to him. That is true. But she also said, or 18 or 19. I think she said in messages she was 18 and then turned 19 is most likely the case. She was also saying, oh, I can't she was saying to Destiny, I can't come see you because my parents won't let me. So there was like a lot of like within these messages sort of tone indicators that this is a very young person. So when someone says OnlyFans, they're spreading a piece of misinformation in his benefit, because if she did do OnlyFans, he could say, well, this website, which is known for verifying people's identity and age, says she's 19. Therefore, it's reasonable to think that she's 19. In this case,
I personally
there is
feel
none of
like that
right?
is too convoluted of an argument. And if she lied about her age, I'm probably not going to hold him accountable unless I see evidence that is very obvious that she's lying, or he asked for ID or some shit and she's going no.
So he does do that. He kind of he makes a message saying,
Is that
do
in
you
the
have
leak that-
I'll have to find the exact.
I mean, has Hutch had said anything about Destiny being a bad person in any of this yet? What is it that he feels the need to private here now that, oh, stuff's come out? No, it seems like it might not be as certain that Destiny's a bad guy as we thought. What? He's not said anything.
Quotation of what when he mentions identity.
Kelly never proves this. She links me to the hacker telling Destiny she was underage, and Destiny replies saying she told him she was of age selling
I think he's taken more vape hits than made comments.
not safe for work material.
When we started talking, she told me she was of age. The solo guy on Kiwi Farms says as much. I don't think she's underage. I don't think she was ever underage. Well, I mean, except for when she was underage, but before I talked to her.
When navigating Kiwi
Thank you for clarifying that, Destiny. Okay, so she wasn't born 18 years old. Great clarification.
Farms, the hacker himself would clarify in a later post, to Rose's knowledge, Destiny did not know her real age. And even if he did not make it known to her.
I don't know anything about all this stuff. Like what? I don't know who this Rose person is. I am completely in the dark.
I don't believe Destiny.
And then that's what he jumps in with. I mean, this just confirms us. Why would anybody watch this guy? What is that, his third comment so far? And he's just saying, I don't know anything about this, guys. Beats me.
Destiny is a pedophile. Now, apparently there are DMs jokingly asking for ID, commenting on how young she looks.
If I go to a club and I f someone underage, it doesn't matter that I ask for their age. If they turn out to be younger, you're still going to get prosecuted the same way. It's like the onus is on you. You can use.
I know I feel like it's different policy state to state, but if you're in like Texas and you're 25 years old and you sleep with someone and then you find out after the fact that they're a minor, and then that might like the minor like showed you like a fake ID, I think you can still be prosecuted, but I feel like it depends on the state. Are there federal laws governing this stuff?
Use that as a defense only to a.
Wouldn't that just be statutory? I would think any state you get prosecuted. If you get tricked, it doesn't matter. You still were an adult engaging with a minor.
Point, especially if there are other reasons to believe this person could be
But again, that comment doesn't even really have anything to do with Destiny. What did he say that he needs to take back or take this down?
underage, as there is in this case.
Rose is the person he sent all the leaked content to. A guy. Oh.
Or at
been
least you
confirmed that
are
they're
not
underage?
sure.
This happened to NBA player Josh.
Wait, so he literally had no clue. I thought he was being a little bit hyperbolic. He didn't know much about any of this person. No, he literally had no idea who Rose was. Okay.
Or at
been
least you
confirmed that
are
they're
not
underage?
sure.
This happened to NBA player Josh Giddey, and he got acquitted.
No, I don't think we can confirm their identity. So Rose's boyfriend says she was 17 at the time, and I don't know if she says she was 18 or 19 at the time of sending things. I'd have to
I
check.
get what you're getting at. I need more before I'm comfortable going that far.
Yeah.
Kelly wasn't able to ever find me this message, so I asked Destiny about it. Did she ever engage with you or like show you like a site where maybe it did check for age verification at any point?
I'm trying to think of how much.
Like
will come
at some-
up in
at
other
some
things, but
point
no,
you-
well, the answer is yes. So like she active user of I think Tinder to find hookups and shit. And Tinder does is an 18 or older app.
And Destiny sent me messages he had with Rose and her talking about using Tinder. I haven't used Tinder in like 8 years, so I don't know. Google says it
So here, WillyMac says Google verifies age, but then even what he puts on the screen here, depending on your location, you may be required to verify your age to prove that you're 18. So even what he's showing here does not say that Tinder verifies age. Depending on where you live, it might. But that's enough for WillyMac to just say that. And this is more stuff why people. The second video is not nearly as bad as the first one, but why people felt WillyMac's videos were not all that great.
And her talking about using Tinder. I haven't used Tinder in like 8 years, so I don't know. Google says it verifies age. There needs to be more tangible evidence. Right now, the worst case scenario is that she might have lied to him. And that's the end of the good news for Destiny. Like, yes, congrats, you're not a pedophile, but the few extra wins he racks up during his manifesto are just so insignificant. You know, yes, Pxie did ask for a comical amount of money.
Her first demand letter to me was for a total apology, and then at least $15 million in compensation.
Swinging for the fences there.
Fuck that.
Yes, people weaponizing your nudes against you.
I really, he's like sympathetic to Destiny this entire video here. Oh yeah, wow, Pxie was really swinging for the fences there. That was a big ask, 15 million. What? Yeah, you know what Destiny's supposed to do is counteroffer. Right? You ask for more than you're looking for, and then the other person says a lower number. And then usually you'll meet somewhere in the middle. Or the judge will just say, no, it's this amount. But if it's before court, then yeah, they'd be going back and forth. But what does he need to be removed? Why is he considering privating this video? The only thing so far is it looks like he was too sympathetic to Destiny. The way he was talking before is like, yeah, I don't know if I should have condemned Destiny as much as I did. Stuff's come out about this court case. I don't know.
Is wrong.
Was now in an impossible position.
I don't even know what the precedent is for this kind of thing. I've never even heard of it. I'm sure this is not the first time something like this has ever happened in a world with, 8 billion people. I do think that she's entitled to significant compensation.
How many?
8 billion people. I do think that she's entitled to significant compensation. Significant compensation. Like, 7 figures minimum. I think that that's perfectly reasonable. But I don't know.
Okay, so 7 figures compensation is reasonable, but stuff's come out. It's changed. Maybe what Destiny did isn't that bad. Maybe I shouldn't have commented. Well, if Pxie is owed potentially 7 million figures, why would you be changing your mind? Why would you think, oh, maybe we jumped the gun, condemning Destiny, and I shouldn't have talked about it? What changed, Hutch? What changed?
I just assume this would be a case that her lawyers kind of came up with that number, and maybe they were like figuring that it would be negotiated down. I would assume would be what would be happening in this spot.
Position. A revenge point of me was still being blasted across the internet with family members, including my 13-year-old son, being spammed with explicit videos of me, sometimes even by popular social media personalities like Just a Minx. I guess it's because I'm a guy at school. I'm trying to get better, but the image of Destiny sucking that.
Oh my! It's not supposed to be about commenting on Destiny's stuff here. It's supposed to be about Hutch, but it's so obnoxious. Yeah, wow. I wonder why nobody cares that Just a Minx talked crap about you, Destiny. It's almost as if she's a known drunken loser who was dropped by every single one of her friends. Yeah, crazy that people were like, wow, Minx, how could you do that? Yeah, because she's a drunken loser. That cutie Cinderella gave her multiple chances and still had to drop her as a friend.
That is ruining it. Based. And then this is just her casually, replying to tweets of mine,
Complaining about is what Pxie and everyone else you shared videos of has to go through now too. You chose to share videos of yourself with an e-girl. They didn't. You made that decision for them. He acts like this is a...
But you have completely taken one PR line and accepted it as a fact without ever digging past the surface. I'm not even sure what you're referring to there.
Everybody signed up for, which is not true.
For people who are extremely concerned with their...
I mean, I can't believe how little he is adding to this video. I'm not saying I have the most mind-blowing comments to say about these, but I feel like I have way more to offer than Hutch. Really, watching this now just goes to show what I was saying at the beginning. Why would anybody watch this guy? He has nothing to offer, and on top of that, he thinks, oh, you know what? If I was friends with Destiny, I probably would have stuck by him. I shouldn't have said the things that I said about him, because maybe he's not that bad of a guy. So he's just a worthless dirtbag? Why? Why would you watch this guy?
their privacy or material possibly leaking. I generally just recommend that we don't record any
Pxie lied too, and I stopped giving a after this drama. After that, still watching Destiny streams. I'm not sure what you're referring to when it comes to Pxie there.
anything at all, as there's always some risk that stuff can leak.
What he's not acknowledging.
And again, he pauses the video comment. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that either. And you can tell that's just a hardcore Destiny fan. I was just looking for something to latch on to. Oh, no, Pxie lied too. Oh, then Destiny might be a good guy. Destiny's probably a good guy then. All right. It was completely understandable that he would habitually violate consent because Pxie told a lie. Great point. And I'm glad we have Hutch there to say, I don't know about that.
Referring to when it comes to Pxie there.
Anything at all, as there's always some risk that stuff can leak.
What he's not acknowledging is the risk was him. I'm seeing
I think both Pxie and Destiny did horrible shit in this situation. Pxie did less horrible shit than Destiny. What horrible shit did Pxie do? What are you even talking
Destiny in his DGG chat saying he's not going to sue the hacker anymore. I'm probably not going to push it any farther since it's just bad publicity for me now.
It really is just insane to me how many of the Destiny fans completely bought the manifesto stream that Destiny did about Pxie. There was times in the streams where the entire chat was just flying by saying, Uno reverse, we're so back, we're so back. It's like, you guys are so brain dead because Destiny just made up this implied consent thing from Pxie. Oh, we're in the clear. We're in the clear. Our streamer's a good guy still. Like, at the very least, if you're still going to watch, just admit that he's a dirtbag. But no, they have to delude themselves.
Not going to sue the hacker anymore. I'm probably not going to push it any farther since it's just bad publicity for me now. And Pxie is forcing us both to waste tens of thousands of dollars fighting each other now. Lol W. So I'm supposed to care about the sob story with Minx and Kiwi Farms hosting his nudes when he doesn't even want to pursue the culprits anymore.
It's incredibly bizarre how many people are fixated on insisting that I'm not a victim in this when I was the primary target of the entire revenge porn posting. While other people were undeniably harmed by these leaks, they were seen as collateral damage to the publisher of the material and the website providing hosting for it in the goal to attack me, whether it was through reputation, money.
Yeah, they were seen as collateral damage by the leaker and as worthless to consideration entities by you. It's just so obnoxious. I don't understand how any of his idiot fans buy any of this.
Monetary harm, or just some other form of sadistic humiliation.
You were the primary target, but the collateral damage is because of you. Destiny never acknowledges this. He has the money to do it all. He's mad at Pxie though, because in her story, he's not the victim. He's the bad guy. Now, Pxie took him to court, and part of when you do that is you don't get an instant public-facing apology. I understand that, but instead of staying quiet, Destiny claims he had implied consent because Pxie
I don't know where you saw any. I mean, like, look, I could be completely out of the loop here, but Fezzy, I'm not even sure where you saw that. Apparently, she was also trading around nudes like Destiny without perms. I haven't heard anything about that.
He sent a video of herself with.
So another time he pauses. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. The thing I'm assuming that chatter is referencing is that Destiny's defense for the implied consent is that, oh well, no. Pxie shared the video of the two of them and of Pxie and her partner, I believe. But there's no reason whatsoever to believe that she didn't have permission other than Destiny says, I don't know if she had permission.
With another guy before.
But don't worry, Hutch is there to say, I don't know about that.
That out of the way, conversations guessing as to whether or not any of the leaked material was consensually shared was a hot topic of discussion following the initial leaks. Pxie would send messages to people to tell them that she had never sent videos of other people to me before, and she portrayed herself in her Substack as though I was the first person to ever suggest this to her.
She responded to his manifesto, and I assume that WillyMac is going to address that in this video.
And I was the first person she ever recorded material with. I know that she's messaged people with stuff.
I actually can't get over how worthless his commentary is here. Just predicting what might be in the video later. No actual commentary on what's going on in the video, though. Just pauses every once in a while to read a chat message and say, I don't know about that. Other than that, it's a couple vape hits and the video just plays.
Like this.
To me, her lying about the nature of their sexting would only make her a hypocrite. It doesn't make sharing other people's nudes without their consent.
Pxie lied in her Substack that she was sexually inexperienced prior to Destiny, despite her sending porn of herself with other people to Destiny prior to them filming. That doesn't mean that someone's super experienced. What do you mean? Wait, what? What is that logic? Because if somebody...
Oh my goodness, is he saying something other than I don't know? He's actually pushing back against one of the Destiny defenders.
Despite her sending porn of herself with other people to Destiny prior to them filming. That doesn't mean that someone's super experienced. What do you mean? Wait, what? What is that logic? Because if somebody engaged in like exchanging of nudes previous to another sexual relationship, that means that they can't be inexperienced. What if they only had like 1 or 2 partners? Like, I would say someone who has only had like 2 partners, I would still call that like sexually inexperienced. Or like, you know, if you haven't had long-term relationships with a sexual relationship, you know, like maybe if you've slept with a couple people, but they weren't like long-term, I would still say that that's pretty inexperienced.
Okay, he doesn't even know if she didn't have consent.
Pxie was comfortable sending me videos of her and other identifiable men, with them even having saved the videos on their own phones. I took videos of some guy, I can send you later if you're interested. Sure, I'll send them to you when I get them. At no point in any of these conversations did Pxie ever mention having explicit consent from any of these other men to share these videos with me. I have no way of contacting them today to find out if she did. All this to say...
Yeah, the day after you lose your virginity, you're a sex god. Exactly, yeah.
...was being reasonable.
That's exactly what that logic is, yeah.
...understood by both sides of the situation.
Yeah, we're gonna get some more commentary, but no, just a joke. But it's just so obnoxious. Again, I'm trying not to respond to the stuff Destiny's saying all that much, but he here is saying, well, it's reasonable to assume that Pxie didn't have consent to share those pictures because I don't have any proof that she had consent for that. But then he gets upset when people are saying, Destiny, that video where you had your phone in your pocket before you walked up to the dude's house and then you recorded the audio of your interaction, seems like you probably didn't have consent there. That's abhorrent that people would assume he doesn't have consent for that. But then here he's completely willing to just throw it out there that, yeah, there's a real chance Pxie didn't have consent to share that stuff. I don't know. Hard to say either way. But then somehow it's ridiculous when people say, hey, this recording that it seems like you're trying to keep a secret, seems like maybe you didn't have consent for that.
...situation.
What do you mean? How? He's assuming that she didn't have permission from this guy when he has no reason to believe that. And in what world does this give him consent to share her nudes? This makes no sense. This was the manifestos to end all manifestos. And it's literally debunked by his own logic in our interview. One of the leaks on Kiwi Farms was a blowjob.
I don't know if he is going to respond, but Pxie did directly address that by saying she did have consent with her previous partner to send videos before.
Recording that happened with a guy.
Okay, I think we're at 2 comments about the video so far. And we're only 15 minutes in, so that's pretty good, Hutch. 1 comment about the video every 7.5 minutes. Not bad.
He met on Grindr. And the recording allegedly starts before he walks into the guy's apartment. And if you read the DM of Destiny sharing the video to Rose, he says, this is just the end. Again, audio scuffed because my phone was in my pocket, implying that the video was secretly recorded. Here is Destiny's defense.
Well, why would he have it in his pocket and not record the thing with the video? It must be because he's not letting the person know. He's secretly recording.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So here, okay, so let me preface this by saying the only reason that recording that you're talking about is leaked is because I think all the girls that started messaging afterwards were like, oh my God, this might be non-consensual, blah, blah, blah. I think that group of people started leaking shit to Kiwi Farms of hookups that nobody is alleging anything wrong has happened. So it's very annoying. And that what you're talking about, like literally audio, that entire...
No, there was one person specifically that was alleging that they had been shown evidence in private that they were recorded without their consent. I mean, I don't know what he's talking about there.
Everything is now just public for no reason. So that is...
I think we're at 3 comments now. Wow. It's kind of rapid fire now. He's had 2 comments in the last couple minutes.
Revenge porn of me posted that everybody's just spreading because it's fucking epic and hilarious, okay?
That makes sense.
Really, everything that he said so far, even if his opinion has changed on Destiny, even if he had a good reason for his opinion to change on Destiny, why would he feel the need to private this video? I mean, all he's done is, in small areas, sort of defend Pxie. He's not really said anything about Destiny, but he feels like he needs to private this because, oh, stuff's come out. What has changed, Hutch? What has changed?
In all honesty, what's probably going to happen here is the case will be dropped or settled. Then this will fade into internet obscurity until it gets brought up years from now as a one-off insult in the middle of a debate. I mean, Vosh literally accidentally showed his underage cartoon porn, and his career is fine. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying at all. I think that's very likely what is going to happen. Yeah.
Sense to me. If the guy involved isn't claiming wrongdoing at this point, who cares? It's irrelevant.
So even at this time, he's saying the case is probably going to be dropped or settled. I truly, I'm trying to figure out what he thinks has changed or needs to be privated here.
That being said, generally with guys on Grindr, there are guys that I've spoken with, and some people are like, hey, are you happy, or are you comfortable recording stuff? Do you want to do video? Most guys aren't comfortable with video. A couple have been, obviously, hence my fucking leaks. Some guys are like, okay, cool, you know, like audio is fine. I don't care as long as you can't identify. That's why I don't even know how many of my things have been leaked at this point, but like it's pretty obvious the guy can like see my phone or he said like, oh, whatever. I think for that particular one, now I think this recording was like 5 years or 4 years ago, so I don't remember. But for this particular guy, he had said, listen, if you want to record audio, that's fine, but like, don't pull your phone out. I don't want to see it. I'm like really paranoid about my face getting recorded. And I'm like, okay, I'll just probably start it before I come to the apartment or whatever. He's like, that's fine. Just like, don't pull your phone out. Cause that would like, it's like, he's just like paranoid about like me recording his face. I was like, okay, that was the hookup story for that dude. But it's really gay to talk about this because, well, one, it's actually gay, but then two, also, nobody's alleging like any wrongdoing for any of these hookups. So it's like really weird that because other people are literally leaking and spreading revenge for me, and then they're having me like describe like this fucking hookup works, so I know it's consensual. Like nobody's even making an allegation of this. Like I don't know if this is going to turn into like every single like I don't know if people are going to start leaking every single video of every.
I feel like that's not true. I feel like people did specifically allege that they were recorded without consent.
Recorded, and they're like, I need you to explain to me like what was
it more than one?
I was like, nobody's making an allegation about this. Why the fuck are you talking about all my hookups? This is cringy and gross and weird.
Okay, here we're getting some hard hitting Destiny criticism here. Maybe it'll start heating up now. We'll get an idea of why this would need to be privated.
That's my I mean that's for that. Yeah.
If he's not complaining about it, then how do we know?
Nobody else. Yeah. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that same logic
Well, Cherry came forward and made that.
entirely debunks Destiny's implied consent defense for Pxie because that guy's not out here complaining. In fact, Pxie claims she had consent from him, actual consent to send those videos. She writes,
No one knows either on my end except my ex-BF. I trust you, believe you. So this is when Pxie asked Destiny. Lav was talking about her video with Destiny, and then Destiny. We don't know what Destiny said because he redacted all of his messages. But then she replies, "No one knows either on my end except my ex-BF." So it's obvious here that it was understood she would share the video with her boyfriend, right? So Destiny knew she had consent. Otherwise, why would she say that? It would make no sense for her to say that. That obviously, you know, except she doesn't say obviously there, but except my BF. Why would she say that unless it was understood that was part of the deal? Right? And Melina was aware of the tape as well, saw the tape. So clearly they agreed. Yeah, partners will see this, but that's it. I don't understand what more you could need and how this implied consent thing really worked for anybody.
this is false. This guy was my ex who consented to sharing. I was not
So he did show her response to it.
recording random one-night stands. I'll be real, the DM she links don't really prove anything, but then a guy named Tom asked, the question is whether
No, Willie, they do. They absolutely do. Did you even read the messages? No one knows on my end either except my ex-BF.
whether or not you had consent to share the videos. She clarifies, I had consent. I believe the courts will exonerate me. So Destiny's entire defense of calling Pxie a hypocrite is debunked by his own logic. It comes off as incredibly desperate. She says, Destiny, you are now using intimate details of my life against me. I need you to stop. You've already shared some of my most intimate moments for the world to see. Why are you forcing me to share more? Another defense Destiny alludes to in his response is that he was part of the scandalous videos, therefore that makes it okay to share. In a way, Pxie is kind of like the perfect victim.
It seems like she shared nudes with you. You shared them with a third party. That party got hacked. It all leaks.
By the way, I want to clarify a couple things. Hold on, just real quick. I never sent nudes that somebody sent me to somebody else. I've never done that before. It's really weird. I've only ever sent videos that I'm in. Now, sometimes those videos are with other people, but like in terms of me sending anything to another person, it's like it's because I'm in it, not because somebody else is in it. Just to be super clear on that. To some people, that doesn't matter. For other people, that's like a really big point because when that post was written for Pxie, it was written like he wanted to.
Imagine who that meant. Oh, so you didn't violate consent as much as you possibly could. It's like there was still some opportunities on the table for you to violate consent. Wow, yeah, that means a lot.
Show my body off and blah blah blah. That's not true at all. She's not even naked in that.
Well, I mean, she's obviously like a part of that video. She's like an essential part of that video. So like, even if the kink is like, here's me in a sexual position, you still need a partner to be in that position.
Video.
That doesn't make any difference to me. He violated the person's trust in sharing the intimate video in the first place. Him being part of it or
Edmard said after the allegation from Cherry, there was also a screenshot of a G Drive link that was apparently a recording of. I don't know about all that. Like, if the court case continues and there's more filings, I'm sure we'll have a lot more details at some point.
Not changes nothing. It seems.
So in this video, he's not jumping into any specifics that wouldn't make sense to get into. When he reads a comment like that, he's like, yeah, well, maybe as things progress with the court case, more details will come out about that, and I'd be willing to say more. But for now, he's not saying anything firm. But the video is potentially going to be privated.
Seems like the only reason he would bring this up is if he felt like there was some sort of legal distinction.
I talk about anything that's related, like
I'm
specifically
going to
to any
ask
of
the
the
question,
causes of action.
and then you
Yeah, go.
say if it can be allowed in the video or not. Because if not, I'm not trying to f anybody. Okay?
Oh.
You very much clarified you're part of these videos too. Guess what I'm wondering is, does that make a legal distinction? Is that why you clarified then?
There's two parts that are really important that I'm okay comfortable talking about. So for one part of a legal distinction here, and this is annoying because it applies legally and it applies morally, I think, and I guess it applies to the PR angle too. Like, I have never ever in my life, like,
Probably best to wait for the court case. I mean, I'm gonna wait for more details before coming to like very specific determinations. But there is enough in the public sphere at this point to have certain opinions.
So again, he's reaffirming. I'm not going to say anything super specific, but there's already enough out there to have opinions. So stuff outside of the court case, like the DMs, where Destiny admits that he violated her trust in the worst way possible. How that has not changed, Hutch. What has changed? Nothing in the court case has come out where those were fake DMs or anything like that. What has possibly changed that would make you think, oh, I shouldn't have commented on that. I might take the video down.
Yeah.
try to like shit on
Oh, now that was his whole comment. Okay.
somebody by like sharing like a revenge porn.
Like, for example, it seems pretty open and shut that he shared nudes with someone without their permission. Like, he himself seemingly has admitted to that multiple times in private correspondence that since became public. So I feel like you're entitled to have an informed opinion at that point. Now, are there going to be like granular details that maybe change kind of this thing or that thing on the margins of the story? Yeah, maybe, probably, right? But the core of the allegation remains pretty like rock solid. Like, somebody woke up one day and images of them of a sexually explicit nature were being passed around to like thousands or perhaps millions of people, and they had never intended those videos to be public. I'm speaking about Pxie in this spot. And yeah, there's enough info to feel like she was like certainly victimized, would be a good word for it, right?
Of them.
Correct. Yes, exactly. And what has changed about that, Hutch? That you would change your mind about Destiny or take this video down? That is still true.
You're talking about like the maliciousness of it, right?
Yeah, because
Now there would be like, that's the distinction that they're kind of going into now. Like, Destiny wants there to be this really big distinction because he didn't intend for these pictures to come out. He didn't intend for this harm to befall Pxie. Seems like he's really counting on that being like exonerating in some way, but and there is a difference. Like, there's a spectrum of wrongdoing. And so like on one spectrum, maliciously, like knowingly sending someone nudes out in order to humiliate them and intentionally violate their trust in a way like to like direct harm their way, that would be much worse than what is going on here. But I don't think that the fact that there's something worse that's possible makes what already happened here necessarily any better. It's okay, yeah, it's, that's worse in comparison, but there's still a lot of damage here, right?
some people are saying like, oh, I was trying to like humiliate, like I'm trying to humiliate.
He's going crazy now. He's got like a comment a minute.
Like, no, I've never in my life have I done that. I would never do it. Well, I mean, there was 14 years ago, the one blue tea girl. That was shitty behavior of me for sure.
Blue Tea was somebody that Destiny sexted and then shared their nudes with his buddies, at least according to Ryan Beard's video, an old forum post I could find online.
Just thought it would be funny to share this woman's private nudes with his friends and joke about how f***ing hideous her face is compared to her beautiful body. And he also insulted her because he thought she looked like Shrek. So he shared a woman's
And that's so sad. The blue tea girl, she's saying, they joked about how I look like Shrek. I do have a big nose, I guess. So she's writing about it. She's like, I mean, I guess they do have a point. I have a hideous face, and I do have a big nose. Like, Jesus.
And he also insulted her because he thought she looked like Shrek. So he shared a woman's private nudes without consent for the purpose of degrading her. In response, Blue Tea hacked Destiny's Twitter and tweeted out pictures of his dick.
She didn't deserve any of that. That was me being a retard or whatever. Like, I agree with that. But like, I've never in my life, like, I've never like sending videos or pictures and like, oh yeah, this is going to humiliate this person. Huh? Like, that's just insane. Okay. That claim is insane. Nothing that's
Didn't Pxie openly speculate that Destiny did it on purpose and maliciously did it to her? She did, and I feel like a lot of people were giving her shit for that because, I mean, I don't think there's strong evidence that that's what he did. I don't think there's any evidence that he did it maliciously to harm her. But when you've experienced harm on that scale like she did, it's easy to imagine why somebody would speculate that that's what happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you put yourself in her shoes and then try to imagine going through that experience of feeling violated in such a public way, then your brain's gonna go to places like that. I feel like that's like seems like a pretty human reaction, right?
leaked from my logs implies that. I've never had a conversation leaked that.
So even when he's saying that it's reasonable for Pxie to think that Destiny shared the video maliciously, it's like, I don't think there's any proof for that. It's just human for her to feel that way. I mean, he has not said anything in here that it makes any sense he would need to take back or private, and nothing in any of what he has said has changed.
It implies that I would ever do that to somebody. Like, that's just wild. Yeah.
Just to be clear, these, because I have not seen the videos, just to be clear, there is videos of Pixie's that were leaked. She was not aware that you shared these with Rose.
I can't speak to that. I will clarify one thing.
Fair enough.
It's video. It's one singular video.
The Blue Tea drama happened in 2012, and if he was caught sharing...
Wow. I mean, I don't... Does anybody dispute that happened at this point? Is anybody denying that that's what happened? At this point, the distinction between one video or several videos doesn't really seem material to come to a...
Is this it? That he's basically just saying for sure he shared without consent? That's the most significant claim that he's gone on to say here so far, but even that hasn't changed, and you don't need the court case. His defense in court isn't that he didn't do that.
Conclusion about this, or to have an opinion about it.
Sharing nudes then, and he was caught sharing nudes.
Does any party dispute or deny that videos of Pxie were released without her consent? I don't know if anyone has denied that.
Now, that means he was probably sharing nudes in all the years in between. In fact, right after the Pxie drama...
That's the only thing I can sort of see so far that could potentially be private worthy if he's trying to crawl back to Destiny.
Blew up in January, DMs from a girl named Hannah leaks showing Destiny seemingly still trying to share nudes, saying, oof, I guess now that some stuff is...
I understand her perspective. I feel bad for her. Doing that could sink her case. I mean, I'm not up to date on Florida law, so I don't think I can opine one way or the other there, but I don't know if that would sink her case, right?
LMAO, if you want videos of me eating, I got them. She laughs and then says, haha, no.
He might be limited in what he might say because of the legal stuff, of course.
Oh, don't show me that. Those are super private. I can't imagine how...
What a worthless chat.
How it feels having something so private be public, even if you were poly. Now this is crazy because behind the scenes, Pxie is saying he ruined her life and is posting her suicide note to him less than a month earlier. And if he was still doing this, that is psychotic behavior. Now Destiny would claim that this was all just edgy jokes that took place when they were flirting. He deleted his DM, so it's hard to understand the full context.
This is like half on the record, off the record. I don't give a fuck. Figure out what you want to put on.
Is it safe to say that no matter the outcome of this, Destiny will probably fuck up again? I mean, I can't speak to his moral journey. People... I know a lot of people that engage in sort of self-destructive behavior at various points in their lives, and then they turn things around. It's possible. It's possible that people turn things around. And according to him and a lot of his viewers, Destiny viewers, he already has, like, this is not behavior that he does anymore, is what I've heard from him and other people. But
Okay, well, hold on.
Well, yeah, he got on the magical Vyvanse. I mean, it's incredible how soft Hutch's response is towards Destiny here. He's saying, I think Destiny could potentially turn it around and be a good person, not habitually violate people's consent anymore. I guess if anything, this should show, yeah, maybe Hutch really never wanted to distance himself all that much from Destiny, because he's been so soft on Destiny here.
Hold on.
A lot of dark humor. Okay, I've made jokes about a lot of things that people come back and try to make me sound like a sociopath. Like, me and my kid's mom used to be physically abusive towards each other. And some people will link clips of me talking about it 10 years ago. He said he used to choke out his ex.
Even if he went down to hold her to stop throwing shit instead of hitting her, I'm almost 100% sure everyone would be saying the same shit. He had to leave her. He was going, yeah, of course.
was he interacting with chat while he was driving? Jesus Christ.
Dude, I wish I would have filmed my shit with Rachel. I wouldn't have any fucking fans today because you guys would probably think I'm a fucking abuser too. Guaranteed. Because you better fucking believe I had to fucking choke her out a few fucking times. That shit got crazy. Hell yeah, it did. And I guarantee you that everybody here would probably think I'm a fucking
Is he gonna realize that he's parked?
crazy physical abuser too, sure.
Oh, he's parked. Okay, Jesus.
I'm joking.
Oh, total pause, Andy. Yeah, he does.
When I say this shit. Or people say, like, oh, Destiny's happy that his best friend committed suicide when he was 20 because he jokes about it. It's like, I do joke about it. I joke about a lot of crazy shit. I've joked about Rexful killing himself. There's also a sad event. So me and Hannah had been chatting maybe for on and off for like a year, had never been sexual ever, not even remotely sexual and anything ever. And then
I meant her accusing Destiny of doing it maliciously. She could be compromising her own case. Destiny has made it clear that it was not malicious. I don't know how that would compromise her case, but I'm not a fucking lawyer, so maybe you're more.
As of like,
maybe you're more like educated on the like the implications of that.
Have the dates on the messages. Was it like 2 months ago or 3 months ago?
It was, yeah.
I think she makes a joke.
Just continue throughout this whole video. He does not make any firm claims really about the court case at all. So how would any changes in the court case change his opinion on Destiny? I don't understand. Why does this guy want to return to orbit?
With about Merc. Oh, and she deleted all those messages. Very clever. But she makes a joke about Merc and she's like, oh my God, I just thought of that crazy girl Merc arguing with her. And then she's like, just so you know, I would.
Destiny trashed all his connections because they didn't like what happened. Well, it's like I feel like ABBA is a really good example of like how your behavior can ripple out and affects like other relationships too. It's like, put yourselves in the shoes of any creator that is, that rely on themselves as their brand to make money, like your livelihood. There are just practical, I mean, putting aside the morals of associating with this person or that person, which is an entirely separate conversation. When you're a creator, you are the person that is in charge of like all of your income, and all of your income revolves around your appeal. And if you associate with someone who is mired in this kind of controversy, there could be serious like material consequences for you. And so like, I feel like Destiny just put everybody that he associated with in a really tricky situation. Now, of course, I mean, this happened 5 years ago, whatever, but like, nonetheless, like, we're still accountable to the things that we did years ago. And unless you're like a good friend of his, there's just like, there are so many legitimate reasons to put space between you and any creator that is embroiled.
Okay. This maybe there are so many legitimate reasons to put distance between him and Destiny. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I am struggling to figure out what he thinks needs to be taken back in this video.
Any legitimate reasons to put space between you and any creator that is embroiled in that kind of controversy. That's just something like practical consideration. I mean, again, that's just the moral argument is completely different. It's a totally different subject, but that's a question that like every creator has to ask themselves, because like in this like social media ecosystem, there are these vast interconnected networks. And so we're all like appearing on each other's stuff. And so you make these associations. And a lot of the times you make these associations, you don't really know much about the person that you're having a conversation with. Like maybe you saw a video of theirs and you really liked it and you're like, hey, do you want to collaborate? Let's talk about something. You're not doing a private detective. You're not doing like a background check on everybody that you have conversations with. And so when stuff like this comes up, and Destiny's not the first example of this. This is like something, when you do content creation and you don't live on an island and you collaborate with other people, this is just something that is going to happen over and over and over and over and over again. Like, you know, Destiny's not going to be the last person that I've collaborated with where there's going to be some stuff that comes out that paints them in a really poor light or creates some kind of controversy. And I'll have to make the same decision then that I do now. And I make different decisions based on different circumstances or whatever. But yeah.
Never ever out any of your advances, LOL. And so when I see him as like, oh, that's a green light to flirt, I guess. And then I think our next conversation starts getting more flirty. And then she makes a reference to something about like videos or like, oh, like, or something sexual or whatever. And I think I make the joke and I'm like, hey, listen, if you're looking for videos of me, they're still up on Kiwi Farms, LOL, which is true. But like, that was the extent of my message.
I can't prove anybody right or
I mean, that's, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess that's true to a certain extent for people that even don't do content creation. You know, like people just that have normie 9-to-5 jobs have to think about these things as well. So it's just there's a public element to content creation that adds a layer of complexity that can change the calculus. Yeah.
they're wrong here because they
It was not hard to realize that Destiny was a dirtbag before this blew up. Like, it's pretty obvious. Obviously, the blue tea stuff got brought up. The fact that he has a job where you can work from home, you could do that anywhere in the country, yet he moves away from his kid. There's plenty of stuff. Plenty of reasons to think, oh, Destiny's not a great guy. Maybe I shouldn't associate with him.
both deleted messages, and to be fair to him, he didn't send anything. But if she said yes to the offer, would he have? That's up to you to decide.
Would never, I don't want to, I'm not going to drag any of these people, okay? But I will say, like, I don't want to do any, I'm not going to do any of this, okay? But like, there are so many girls.
When was this interview, by the way? Because it seems like this interview happened in the last like month. It seems like this is a recent interview, right?
That send me messages. I'm not even sure, but like, there's so many girls that send me messages like this when everything was leaking, okay?
I don't know. I think the moral and business association argument should be one and the same. I mean, they're linked, right? But they're kind of separate, but they're linked, right? Yeah.
Hold on. You just sent me something.
When are the Hutch leaks coming? Listen, if any shit, and this isn't me just like doing like a holier than thou thing. Like, I mean, I've definitely done some shit that I would be judged harshly for by the internet when I was like in my 20s or maybe 30s or whatever. I feel like that's the case for everybody. But I've been fucking shacked up with the same woman for 10 years now. My life is very boring, and I love that my life is very boring. It's incredible. If my shit hacks now, the biggest risk to me would be just what a fucking nerd I am. Like people looking at my YouTube history and watching me watch like MCU film rumor videos 5 times a day. That'd be kind of embarrassing. Like if that, I'll tell you guys or whatever.
Does he have a separate account that he uses when he watches YouTube videos on live stream? Or when people see that anyway? I mean, I guess he's admitting it, so it's not as if that matters, but you would think people already knew that about him, unless he has separate accounts for watching videos in his private.
But like 41-year-old dude watching like MCU rumored YouTube videos 5 times a day, every day. And the other thing too is I have seen many a downfall of many a creator because of leaked stuff. I started seeing that really early on. Like it took a minute for it to start happening. Like YouTube celebrity or whatever was a novel thing still back in 2009. And there just wasn't a whole lot of this kind of drama that happened. But I remember back in 2011 thinking to myself, wait a second, like there's a lot more kind of famous YouTubers. And so the odds of there being something like a sex scandal, it's like, when are we going to have our first YouTube sex scandal is what I remember thinking about like in 2011. I was like, it's going to happen at some point. And then I think like the first one was this, you remember the Shaytards? You guys remember I mean, iFly, that was a different kind of thing. That wasn't really like a leak, but you guys remember the Shay Carl? Remember that? And then he called his...
Wait, iFly? I think I remember. That was like a COD guy, and they found out he just did porn video. I think he did gay porn videos, and they're uploading it to some prawn site, and that like ruined his career. I'm pretty sure that's all that was. Like iFly Illinois or something like that. I could be misremembering. That's a long time ago. But is he done with this? I don't care about Shay Carl. There's only a couple minutes left. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Okay. Who came up with that name? All right, they're still trucking, man. They got creator after creator Like I would watch some meltdown happen or some big controversy, and it would scare the shit out of me. It was like scared straight, you know. Like I'd be reading all these like personal, intimate details of
hypothetically, if there is a Hutch leak and there is no significant leftward curvature, I'm gonna feel lied to.
I can promise you, I have no nudes on my there's no dicks. I mean, definitely when I first got a cell phone, I was definitely taking a lot of pictures of my penis, for sure. I mean, I was like, it was, you know, a lot. Okay, this was with this like flip phone camera phones before I had like an iPhone in the late 2000s, you know. But I saw the downfall of many a creator, and so I would just like take notes. Don't do that. So like when DSP, when that whole thing, I almost have mad respect for that guy because he just weathered that storm, you know. Like I would never show my face on the internet ever again.
Do you have mad respect for a roach that survives a nuclear blast, Hutch? That's just what happens with a roach. Okay, let's see. At the end, you saying anything? Okay, nope. He's acting out what DSP did. Okay, so that's probably good enough on that. But so nothing in there makes any sense why he would be considering private in this, and nothing here that he said impacts his decision of what Destiny did to Pxie and other women has changed. There's absolutely no reason for him to be changing mind. Oh, well, stuff's come out and stuff's changed. No reason at all for him to be changing his mind, other than all I really can think of is he wants to go back into orbit. I think Kuihman was saying that Destiny has reviewed some of Hutch's debates and sided with Hutch over other people that Hutch does a podcast with, Live and Learn or something like that. And maybe that is why he's upset with the people he does the podcast with, but Destiny's agreeing with him when he reviews the debates. So for that reason, Hutch is thinking, oh, maybe Destiny's not as bad as I thought. I mean, that seems crazy to me that would really impact your decision given the gravity of what Destiny has done. But after watching this video, I don't really see what he said here that he could have had his mind changed about. Nothing has come out that would change anything he said here. He didn't make any firm claims about specifics of the court case or anything like that. He's aware that in DMs, Destiny said, yep, I violated her trust in the worst way possible. He doesn't need anything else. He had, before going into this video, he had everything that he needed. Nothing that he needed has changed. And yet he's talking about, maybe I should just private that video because stuff has come out and I don't know. It was good at the time to distance myself, but maybe that's not necessary so much anyway. But really, just shameful and embarrassing for Hutch. I don't know why he would be saying that sort of stuff. And that's not the only embarrassing stuff that he's done lately. He was supposed to have a debate with Kuihman, and he backed out of it. Just take a peek here. The stream Kuihman did about it, where he's talking about how Hutch backed out of the debate that they were supposed to have.
So Hutch reaches out after my Twitter reply, and he says, "Are you free tomorrow? I'm available from 9:30 a.m. Pacific until around 1 p.m. Okay, good start. That's cool. Now, I'm not available at those times. I usually start stream at about 1 p.m. Pacific. That's usually the earliest I'll start stream at is 1 p.m. Pacific, usually more like 2. So that's not really very good for me. I say, I'm not really available to stream until at least 1 p.m. Pacific most days. Are you free any later at some point, or is that your limit? Can try to sort something out. I'm trying to be accommodating. I'm trying to make sure this happens, trying to, make sure that even if there's a problem on his side with the time, he knows. He knows I'm here. He knows I'm willing, okay? I have a thing tomorrow, but I can do 1 p.m. Pacific on Monday. So obviously the thing he had that day was a WIC panel about Israel-Palestine. I understand. You had a pre-booked WIC panel. I understand. Don't let me get in the way of your WIC panel, Hutch. Seriously. So, so I say you good with 1:30. That's more like my usual stream starting time. I'm like, okay, I need to. That way I make sure I've got time to like prep and not prep as in prep for the debate, but prep for my stream and be ready, be awake, had my coffee, all that stuff. He says, sure. Okay, great.
Nice. I assume you do debates over Discord. I'm just Kuihman on there. And I follow up with, let me know if you want to limit it to specific topics or anything like that. If you want to debate something in particular or just talk through disagreements, I don't mind. So I'm trying to lay out here, if you've got specific terms you want for this debate, specific topics you want to touch or don't want to touch, tell me now. Let's have that discussion now so that when we have the conversation, there can't be any confusion. No one can be like, I'm being ambushed or any crazy shit like that. Not that I think Hutch would necessarily do that, but just, you know, I'm trying to make sure we hash everything out before we start the conversation, just to make sure we're perfect. We're perfectly set. So,
being very gentle and accommodating to Hutch really makes no sense why you would have to back out of this. If anything that you don't want to talk about, you can take off the table right now.
He says, Discord is fine. I figured we would debate my baldness and general cringe shitlibness in response to your video. So, okay, I figure this is joking. Figure he's just like, you know, we're fucking around here. You know, we're going to debate his baldness. You know, haha. Epic, you know, sure. No topics then. I guess you haven't watched my video yet. You're just like posting it in your Discord because you're like, oh, someone's hating on me. Guys, come check out this person hating on me. You don't even know.
I'm pretty sure when Kuihman did a video on Hutch previously, he put bald in very large letters on the thumbnail. I can't, bald and something else. But, and then Hutch posts a screenshot of the thumbnail of that video in his Discord. He's like, oh, we got fun reaction content tomorrow. That seems like he never watched that video, because this is what he's saying. We'll debate my baldness and general cringe shibletness in response to your video. So it doesn't seem like he really knows what it's about. So did he watch the video? And then see, oh geez, I don't know if I want to talk to this guy. A little scared.
Know what was said in it yet. You're asking to debate without knowing the criticisms. You might agree with them fully, but you're just going for the debate. And I just don't get it. Like, he was doing sort of like a weird posturing thing, but he doesn't even know what was said. So, okay. Wait, really? What? What? One minute, guys. There we go. Okay, so that's the last message. So I leave it there. I don't reply to that. I'm like, okay, this guy's like, you know, that I guess no specific topics. I leave it there. I don't know what else to say to that, you know. Well, it doesn't seem like we've got any specific topics, so we'll just go on to the debate. So, but he messages back later on, okay, like 24 hours later. He says, wait, so you're like a shitlord? I initially thought you were interested in politics. I have absolutely zero desire to do shitlord stuff. So, I don't really know what he means by this.
Yeah, it just seems like a total excuse to back out. I mean, this Hutch guy seems truly spineless. He can't stand by his opinion on Destiny. And then Kuihman, less than 10,000 subs, challenges him to a debate. Hutch reaches out, agrees to the debate, and then he's backing out of it, which is like a basically made-up reason. You're a shitlord. What? I truly do not understand how anybody can watch this guy. Just boring, not funny, not particularly educated, nothing really interesting about him, and just totally spineless. I mean, he had almost nothing to add to that entire WillyMac video. Took over halfway through it for him to get to like 4 comments about the whole video. Mostly him just vaping there. And now he's running from this guy, from Kuihman.
I don't know what a shitlord is.
And he doesn't even have a real reason.
I think the last time I heard shitlord would have been in like 2013, listening to Yogscast videos, where they would use shitlord as a pejorative. That's probably my last memory of someone saying shitlord. So there's like this. So now I am trapped in DMs with this 40-year-old man using the term shitlord, and I've got no idea what it means. I'm like, I don't know what you're asking me. Can you talk like a human being, please? But furthermore than that, he says, I thought you were actually interested in politics. Now, if you just glance at my channel, my second channel, you can very quickly see I am interested in. I put out stuff on politics all the time. I like talking about politics. I like joking around about it as well, and I like making fun of people and ripping on people's content while I'm talking about politics, but I definitely touch on politics quite a lot. So I don't really know. So I'm either, so we're drawing a distinction here. Like there's like a dichotomy between people who are shitlords and people who are interested in politics. Apparently you can't be both. I don't know necessarily what a shitlord is, but I'm understanding that in Hutch's view, these are in a dichotomy. You cannot be both. You're either a shitlord or interested in politics. So I'm like trying to figure out exactly what I'm being asked here. I have absolutely zero desire to do shitlord stuff. It's like you're laying down pretty firmly here. Like this is actually this doesn't feel like you're really asking me a question here. You're not actually asking me if I'm a shitlord or whatever that means. You're not actually asking me that. You've decided you don't want to do this conversation anymore, and you are now trying to come up with a way of asking me a question.
Yeah, I don't know how else you could possibly read that other than maybe he watched part of the video and thought, oh, shoot, maybe this guy has more substance to his criticisms than is actually worth it. Which, you know, I think Papa Gut had a similar realization when he watched Kuihman's video about him, because in that reaction, Papa Gut said, oh, yeah, I'll upload this video of me reacting to Kuihman's video about me sometime next week when it's slow. Still has not uploaded that video. It's been multiple weeks now, maybe a month. It has not uploaded that video. So maybe the coward Hutch watched the video that Kuihman made about him and thought, oh shoot, you know what? There's more substance to it than I thought. I'm just gonna back out of this. Say, oh, you do too many memes, Kuihman, so I'm gonna have to run out. That or some little bird whispered in his ear and said, oh, Kuihman's dangerous. He's a bad guy. Either way, totally cowardly, especially because he never had to reach out and say, yeah, we should do a debate. But then you did that. You agreed on a time. It wasn't even like this vague, yeah, we should debate sometime. You set a specific time that you were going to do it and then backed out.
That will give you the pretext to back out without actually revealing the reason you're backing out, right? Because I was like, I have a conversation about politics. You can just go glance at the video that I watched that I put out about you. You could just go see maybe some my takes are in there. That's about politics, obviously, but you didn't. Apparently, you didn't do that. So it does just come off as like a little bit disingenuous to me. I'm like, okay. So I say, no idea what you mean by that. I mainly covered
a little bit disingenuous, huh? I don't know. Hutch would never be disingenuous.
Drama and sometimes politics / adjacent topics. You talk like a human, please. Talk like a person, please. Explain what you mean. So he says, shitlord stuff. Not serious. Memes. There's full stops there. Shitlord stuff. Period. Not serious. Period. Memes. Period.
He says that as if he's completely above that. There's some serious substance to what he does. I mean, watching his reaction to that Willie Mac video was almost completely worthless. The only reason there was any value to it is because I was trying to figure out what could he possibly think has changed about Destiny that he's changing his opinion on him now and maybe wants to private the video. He didn't have anything hard-hitting in there. There's nothing special about that at all. But he's acting as if he's above Kuihman. Too serious. I do too much real politics to deal with Kuihman.
You mean, am I gonna troll you? Like, what are you asking right now? He's a very serious guy, Hutch, okay? Listen. Destiny adjacent political commentary is serious business, and Hutch takes it as such, okay? It's very serious business. Don't engage with any shitlords, okay? They bring down the rep, all right? We can't make it seem unserious by engaging with shitlords, okay? I'm gonna be a part of the DNC one day. I want to be a canvassing organizer one day. I want to have my own canvassing house where I can invite a bunch of college kids to stay for 6 weeks. This is very serious. I need to look after my reputation. Could not possibly care less about that stuff. So I say, That's not much clearer to be. Jesus Christ. That's not much clearer, to be honest. Are you asking if I actually give my opinions? If so, then yes. I joke around a lot also, if that's what you're asking. So, I feel like I'm getting across pretty well here. I'm like, yeah, there's like a joking kind of comedy vibe all the time, some of the stuff I'm saying, but I'm giving opinions, you know. They're in a direction, I'm giving a take. I'll justify it, I'll argue it. And he says, your content is a bit too shitposty for the kind of conversations. Go with God. Sorry, I'm fucking up reading that, but it's not actually my fault. Because he does say...
So, yeah, and that's enough. I just want to show, you know, in addition to Hutch running back towards Destiny, you know, like one of the rats that jumped ship and now is coming back, that Dan said he was going to have a problem with. He said he wasn't going to let anybody do that. So we'll see how that goes. If he's going to kick Hutch to the curb or make Destiny kick Hutch to the curb, or if he is going to let Hutch nuzzle back up with Destiny. Very shameful. But this clip, I haven't actually seen this. I just noticed that this was posted in, I think, Kuihman's Discord. But Food Shops supposedly asked Hutch about why he backed out of the debate here.
What is up with you saying that you want to debate with Kuihman? What's going on there? Where did that come from?
I didn't know much about him. I'm down to like debate or have conversations with most people, and so I think people had tweeted me about, like, he tweeted me like clips of video he made about me, and so I without knowing anything about him, I was like, I just reached out. I was like, hey, what's up? You want to have a conversation? And he did, and then I had someone privately reach out, and they told me he's like very, very, very toxic. And then I looked into it, and I was like, oh, he's kind of like he seems like kind of like a shitlord. Like it's not really about.
So he's sticking with this. This is actually his reason.
Politics. It just seems like kind of like edgy humor or whatever. And so it was not like, it was not.
All right, yeah, nobody should do edgy humor. Instead, we should just be incredibly boring, like Hutch. That's much better.
I don't like really like those conversations. I don't feel like those are fun.
Oh,
or is he? Do you like him? Is he good? What's up?
I have a crush on him.
You do like him?
No, I'm kidding. Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh.
Do you? Okay, wait. So,
I really don't know anything about this person, and I just like looked into it after somebody reached out to me privately, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy's like super toxic.
Somebody reached out to him privately, so it wasn't really just people on Twitter. Yeah, I think the obvious answer, what Kuihman said, it was probably Erudite that reached out and told Hutch not to debate Kuihman, but I don't think we'll know for sure.
Okay. I mean, like, I think that if you're willing to have a good faith conversation with Kuihman, I think you should. Why not? I mean, like, here's the thing. I think J-Stock is also a shitlord, right? But, like, I mean, I don't, you know, anything for the sake of content. I love content. I want to prioritize content. So it's like, you know.
Okay. I don't know much about Food Shops, but I know she really seems to hate J-Stock. And she seems to be saying, well, still, should be open to having a debate with J-Stock for the content's sake. Okay, I can get down with that.
I mean, it's up to you at the end of the day whether or not you want to debate these kinds of people. But I think that, you know, if Kuihman was unhinged or is a shitlord in the debate, I think you can totally make him look like a fool. No. I mean,
well, I don't know who to trust now, because I have a friend who told me that like it's like he's like super toxic, and so.
Oh, he is super toxic. You're right. He is super toxic, but you know, I mean, here's the thing. All right, it might be. Look, do you know counterpoints?
Like Connor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I met him. Yeah.
Fuck him. I hate that guy. Okay, but regardless, okay, he has debated Kuihman.
Good take. Good take.
Multiple times. Okay. And if you want someone who has debated Kuihman for it, you can ask him. But also fuck Connor.
Okay. I mean, I guess maybe now you've got me curious. Maybe I'm open as long as it's good faith. And so I got the person that reached out to me to tell me about him implied that
I cannot stand this good faith, bad faith stuff. It's just so obnoxious.
It wasn't good faith. It was just shitlord, like like slop, like it wasn't like I was specifically told that he wasn't good faith, which made me not want to do it.
Well, Kuihman is bad faith. Kuihman is bad faith, but a bad faith conversation can still be fun. It's up to you.
Yeah, sorry to deprive you of content, but that's not really like I don't really love those conversations. Yeah.
You messed it up right at the end, Food Shops, by saying no, Kuihman is bad faith. You had Hutch open to it until you said that.
Okay, all right.
All right. Well, listen, it was good talking to you. Enjoy the rest of your stream.
What?
Okay. So yeah, sounds like that is not going to happen. Is this still? Yeah, here we go. This is a good frame to end on. Again, I'll just reiterate what I said at the very beginning. I do not understand how anybody finds this Hutch guy worth watching. Super boring, not insightful, not funny, not educated on anything. I don't understand why you'd watch somebody like that for politics, right? If they just do regular, more run-of-the-mill videos, or some others, they do woodworking or something, then I could get it. You're just looking for something comfortable to watch, put on in the background or whatever. But if you're specifically engaging with politics content, you'd think you'd want it to be worthwhile somehow. And I just don't see how this guy does it at all. And on top of all of that, seems like he's a complete coward. He's running back to Destiny after doing the safe and easy thing of distancing himself from Destiny in the moment when everything blew up. And then he's backing out of a debate with Kuihman. This guy has 839,000 subs. A lot of those are dead at this point, because I think he did like, what, Call of Duty videos? That's where he got most of his stuff. I don't know. Machinima related. I don't know if it's necessarily Call of Duty, but there's no reason that he should be so scared of Kuihman. It's just absurd. I don't know how Kuihman ends up being such a boogeyman for so many of these people. Why Papa Gut is afraid to debate Kuihman. Why Hutch is afraid to debate Kuihman. It's very pathetic. And really, just seems to be no reason to watch this guy. I think he was at 3 or 4 comments 15 minutes into that WillyMac video. And probably half of his comments throughout the entire video were, I don't know about that. Literally 0 value added for probably half, at least a third of his comments, just saying, I don't know about that. And then somehow he's going to change his mind about Destiny. Maybe I need to private that video. I shouldn't have said any of that stuff, even though nothing that he said in that video has changed. There aren't any details that contradict anything that he said. There's no reason he should need to take any of that back, unless he's a little rat and he wants to snuggle up with Destiny again. Or maybe Kuihman is right, that it's just Destiny positively reviewed Hutch's debates, and so that's enough for Hutch. He's like, oh, Destiny took my side in debates? He must be alright. I'm gonna associate with that guy again. Either way, completely pathetic, and what a waste of time to watch this guy.